We're here at Bobby and Sheila's restaurant in Glendale, Oregon. And with me today is Mr. Clifford. We're going to just withhold his last name for security reasons. We will find that out shortly as to why I withhold his last name. However, this gentleman has been a miner for quite a while, and I want to thank you for coming and helping us out with this.
You bet.
And you've got some interesting collections here. What is this stuff?
Silver.
Silver.
Pure silver.
Wow. 0.99. It said 0.99 on these things. They're stamped with all kind of stuff. This one you've got is an interesting shape of one. What is that?
This is a Chinese bar, and they make them this shape to stack them.
Okay.
I didn't ask them why they make them this shape, because we don't make them this way.
Well, where were you born?
I was born in Long Beach, California in '39.
And where were you raised?
Out in the desert, Mojave Desert.
Mojave? What you doing out in the desert?
Dad bought a ranch out there in '46, and the land was cheap.
Okay.
$35 an acre.
All right.
So we bought a big one, 400 and some acres.
So you spent a lot of time in the desert.
Yeah.
I got to ask, whatever made you think that you could ever? Well, what did you do mostly after that? As you know, most of your life, what did you do?
Well, out there, I irrigated during the summer. And that's about 2 weeks on and 2 weeks off.
Okay.
And the 2 weeks off, I tried to find something to do besides shooting jackrabbits.
Okay.
And we were in Palmdale, and at that time, Palmdale was a very, very small town. And I saw an old dry washer.
Okay.
And it was a hand-operated one.
That's
you had to
one of those,
really work.
And that's one you crank it, and it goes puff, puff, puff,
Yep.
puff,
Yep.
puff, puff.
Yep.
That.
So I took that out to the dry riverbed behind the ranch.
Yep.
And there was some S-bins in there, and I knew how to do that. I'd read in a book how to do that. And I found black sand. And I tried it, and it worked. I got some gold. So I got enough gold to pay
So you got
Dad.
the bug.
I got the bug.
Age,
Yeah, I got the
early
bug.
Age.
And then I found caliche.
Okay, that old calcite looking stuff, or limestone. Yeah.
I found the real deal then. I started busting through caliche, and I started getting real gold. That was...
I think that, I'm not sure, but that might be part of that old basin that they talk about.
It may be.
In
I didn't
Nevada,
know.
the old lake bed, Nevada.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
I didn't know what it was in those days. Nobody was there to teach me.
I'm still learning.
And I was just beginning. I was just a little fella.
Okay.
And I got enough gold to pay for that dry rocker.
Wow.
And
That's
I think it was $8, And I paid Dad. He didn't think I was going to find anything. So I paid him off, and I kept the rest of the gold, and I've still got some of it at the house that I kept.
Well, I wondered, look at all of these interesting little things here. It says Mark Refining,
Yep.
7.82 ounces
Yep.
of 0.999 silver.
Well,
What got you into collecting these bars, little bars of silver?
Several reasons. The odd denomination, 7.82 ounces.
Yes.
They don't make silver bars in those denominations.
No.
5 ounces, 10 ounces, 1 ounce.
Yes.
And I saw these, and I thought, this might be something to put away for the future.
Wow.
And I grabbed all of them. I can get my hands on them. I'm still grabbing them if I can find them.
I was looking at one of them here, somewhere here, that has one of the most interesting little things on it.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the one, I don't think. Maybe it's this one. I'm not sure. Whoops, I can't even. That one's upside down. Oh, there it is. Wow. Comstock Mining Carson City, Nevada.
What do you know about when they quit
Wow.
mining there? When did they quit mining?
I really
1895?
don't know. Yeah, back in the late 1800s anyway, for sure. Early 1900s at the latest.
Yeah.
That's been a long time. You've got some interesting collection of different kinds of silver here.
Yeah.
Most of this is old, stamped, old, weird stuff. This Chinese one.
Yep. Some of this.
But I see something else that he's got sitting here that really has got my attention. Look at this. Look at this man. This man still got some of the old stuff. Now look. Hey folks, this is gold.
Real.
This is gold.
That's real stuff.
These are pieces of gold. Where did you find some of this stuff?
Right here.
Out of Cow Creek and where else?
Not Cow Creek.
Ah. Listen, folks.
But I will not tell you where.
I knew he was going to say that. I knew he was going to. Just like true to form, old miners never give up their old secrets. Yeah. But it's around this area here.
It's in this area, and it's very, very pure.
Do you
gold.
mind if I open that one up?
Absolutely. Go right ahead.
Wow, look at this. I mean, this is a nugget of gold.
That's about 9 pennyweights.
Well, I'd say it's about a half ounce or so.
Yep.
Whatever that is. That's
close.
about a half ounce.
Yep.
At least. Some of these other ones are just fascinating. Some really neat ones. There's, let's see what we got. We have, gee whiz, we got, you don't remember the story behind that one, do you?
No, I really don't know where I got that one.
That's about a third of an ounce right there. Those are some nice, really nice nuggets.
Those slide down these creeks. You find them with a metal detector.
Wow.
You go to an old mine, you find them in their stack. There's 100 places you can find these things.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to lay these out here.
Okay.
And we'll take a shot of them in a minute here. And does it make any difference which one of these it goes in?
No, it doesn't. Not
okay.
at all.
All right. We're going to put them out there. Wow. Those are really... I see you have an unusual one here, right here. It's a dark colored one.
Yes, indeed.
And I see it's got gold all around this.
Yep.
But up here, it's got like the old something in it. What is that?
That brick red is iron oxide, I believe.
Okay. It's hooked on the original old ore.
Yes, it is.
Wow. That's unusual. Sometimes you see it with quartz, but this is weird that it's got iron oxide hooked onto it.
That's right off of the vein.
I'll tell
right
you
off
what.
of the main vein.
No, wow. I bet you got more tales to tell than you know what to do. Then you probably forgot more than you can remember.
Yeah.
You mind asking me how old you are?
77.
Oh hell, I'm not too far, but I'm about 5 years behind him. I ain't caught up with him yet, but I'm working on it. Well, Cliff, I'll tell you what, these are some really interesting stuff. These silver bars.
Yep.
I know they're going to go back in your safety deposit box in the bank, but that's another story. But I'm going to tell you what, these are some I didn't even know they made stuff like this. I did not even know that.
Well,
you think of big ingot type things and all this.
Well, you can buy big ingots.
I did not know they made the little small ones though.
Well, they did
long time ago.
Long time ago. Yes.
Nowadays you get them like this, except they're about half.
Yeah, you get
about half that thickness.
Well, you get some real pretty 10-ounce bars.
And they're real shiny, kind of like this.
Yeah.
What's the deal with some of these shiny ones? These weird shaped ones here.
I'm not sure why they're so shiny after all this time, but those are a mine run sample bar, and I just accidentally stumbled on them.
Okay.
And they are very unusual because this would be the first run from a mine, and the Asser would have run these at the mine. and tested them, and I'm sure they're 999 silver.
Wow.
But they're very unusual to get a hold of some of these. Very, very unusual.
Yeah, because people hang on to those things forever.
Yeah.
Nobody. Most people that have got gold, and if they don't need the money, they don't sell it.
No.
They hang on to it, and they pass it down from generation to generation.
That's correct.
Yes. And these will be for your family.
Oh, yeah.
Talk about a strange inheritance. The children were going to say, yes! I know, but they already know about it, so that's it won't be a surprise to them. So,
well, one of them does.
Where? You say you mostly found that with metal detectors?
Absolutely.
Just metal detecting, you winding up with these big chunks of gold.
Yeah, absolutely.
From right around here, around the Glendale area. I won't say exactly where, but Glendale, Oregon. It's well known for this area to have. Are there any mines around this area?
Yes, there's a lot of them. Very much so.
There's a fella named Shorty Owen.
Yes, indeed.
And I think you know him.
I do.
And he has chronicled hundreds and hundreds of old mine shafts that are in this area.
Yep.
It would be so interesting to go to a few of those mine shafts and just see where they are. But he wrote a book.
Yep.
That's got all the GPS stuff in. Man, that's unbelievable. I have a copy of it. I got to dig that up and start looking through that.
I'd like to get a copy of his book.
I know a few weeks ago you and I drove up and you were pointing out a bunch of mines up, where was that? Out of Azalea or someplace?
Let me see. That was up Hoggum Creek.
Hoggum Creek?
Yeah, that was up Hoggum Creek.
There's so many creeks around
and Starvelt Creek.
Okay.
They both have mines, quite a number of them.
Wow.
There's a bunch of them that are claimed. They probably don't take a whole lot of gold out of them anymore.
Yeah.
But there's quite a few of them that are claimed, and some of them do take gold out of there. I know they do.
Now that they have, the regulations have got to the point where here in Oregon, I don't believe they allow very much dredging anymore.
No, not much.
And about the only thing you can do is and you've got a 300-foot setback off of a creek.
Yeah.
Which is absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
But that's the regulations. Well, now, basically, it looks like metal detecting is the way to go.
It is the way to go.
You can go and, man, I'd try to get me some of them underwater detectors when the water is low.
Well,
so you can get in the creek.
A standard detector will work down in depth quite a ways.
Okay. It won't mess with the coil?
No, it won't hurt the coil a bit.
Wow.
That's the way I use mine.
Okay.
Now, if you find a crevice,
by
all means check the crevice.
Okay.
And that's
mostly down on the bedrock.
You bet it is.
Right on the bedrock.
You bet. Yes, sir. And every spring, go back and check it again.
Okay.
Because you will have new gold coming down every year.
The big snowfall pushes all that water and melted snow down the hill.
Another thing that we do that not many know about is these great big pipes that go underneath the roads. The
culvert pipes.
Culvert pipes.
And they got those riffles in there.
We pan all that. We run it through a sluice box.
Yeah. I do know a number of people. I saw somebody on Facebook the other day posted something about they had dug out a culvert.
Yeah.
Now, they didn't say what they found in there.
Yeah.
And I have panned out some stuff from a guy that brought me some out of a culvert box in North Dakota.
Ooh, wow.
In North Dakota, it's strange. You don't find something like this in North Dakota. North Dakota mostly got flour gold or little small stuff like salt and pepper or a little smaller. And the reason it's all glacier stuff.
The glacier ground everything up.
This stuff, things like this.
Yeah.
These are near the source of where they were come out of the ground.
Very near the source. Yes, they are.
And you've got mountainous area. What's your rule about where do you find gold? I mean,
5 to 7 miles from a volcano is where I am going to dig in and make a home.
5 to 7 miles. No farther than that?
No farther.
No farther.
That's where I want to start.
You just heard it here, folks. There is a tip. 5 to 7 miles from a volcanic deposit.
Yep.
Do you understand that? Stay within that limit, and your chances of finding gold are going to be greatly improved.
A great deal. Yeah.
And is more erosion on those hills around that area, even if it's ancient, the better you're going to find gold.
Mm-hmm.
And other minerals. You may find some silver. There may be other kinds of minerals.
Platinum.
Of course, platinum.
We have platinum here.
Okay.
And people are throwing it out of their pan.
I'm not sure I would recognize it, other than the fact that I just think it's some old gray metal.
Little white balls.
Little white balls.
Uh-huh.
Now listen, you people listen to this.
Don't throw it out.
I'm learning something here.
Don't throw it out, guys. Don't throw it out.
Little white balls.
Little white balls in your pan, that's platinum.
Wow. I did not know that.
Yep.
See? I'm an old man and I'm still learning, so I know you can learn something.
You can learn every dadgum day of your life.
What kind of a panning technique do you use?
The same identical pan that you use, a Garrett in the same angle that you use.
Oh.
But I also use a steel pan.
Okay.
Now I use a steel sample pan, a little 7-inch one.
Okay.
I do that in the desert where water is so scarce that you use a big pan and you put water in it.
Okay.
And you use the little pan to pan. Then you salvage the water back into a container.
Okay.
And go from there.
That's some good tips. This is some good tips.
Busting up a piece of granite and you see little quartz veinlets. Bust up those quartz veinlets. Crush them in a mortar and pestle. And then pan them.
I noticed when I was in Nevada, we had some claims in Nevada, and we had a claim that had 6 shafts in this thing. We went in those shafts. They were big. And they were following quartz veins wherever it went.
Yep.
And it was busted up through shale.
Yep.
And mostly, from what I could tell, the gold mostly was up against the host rock, between the host rock and not all of it, but most of it was in little bitty veins in between the quartz and the host rock.
Ooh, okay.
That's where they were. I talked to an old timer. They worked the wheelbarrow mine in outside of Winnemucca, near Mill City. Yeah, you know the wheelbarrow mine. I think that's in Humboldt County. Anyway, yeah. They still had some quartz left in there, but it was petering out. I could tell that, but they followed that for a long way up in there.
Wow.
So, and they had piles of crushed quartz and schist type looking stuff that looks like quartz, but it's not really quartz. It's kind of a off-white, milky looking stuff. That was those veins in those mines over there.
Was it a vuggy type of stuff? Was it rotten?
Some of it was, and it was tainted with a lot of iron rust color on it.
Okay, that's good. The iron is the host of the gold.
Yeah, there you go.
Definitely.
So, and this stuff shot up through these veins, and then it migrates. You know, when it finally was cooling over geologic age, I know that gold is not magnetic.
Nope.
But I feel, I don't know if it's right or not, but I think gold has kind of an affinity for mass. Like big rocks and things like that. Small stuff will stick to it, only not because it's magnetic, but for some reason has some sort of I don't know. It has an affinity for mass. I know that. You want to make sure you wash big rocks. You don't want to just wash small stuff.
Oh yeah, you do. And you need, when you're doing your geology work, you need to study temperatures, because gold has a very high melt rate.
Yes.
And the host rock doesn't. Quartz doesn't have a real high melt rate. So the quartz actually was in there later than the gold. The gold was squirted out.
Yep.
And then the host rock melted around it. And that's why you see stuff like iron pyrite attached to gold. It came in later.
Okay. Wow. These are some things little tips that you think about. A little bit in depth with a little bit of geology. Did you have any formal training in any of this stuff?
I studied for a couple of years of college.
Way back when?
In geology, way back at Long Beach City College. And picked up the basics. That's all I wanted. And then from the rest of it was from practical and from the old timers that would give you a tip or two here and there, just like I give now.
Yeah.
And
that's kind of where I picked it up. Yep. I had about a couple of semesters in college of geology. I should have stayed. I should have continued to be a geologist. But for some crazy reason, I wanted to be a biologist. Well, I did get into the commercial diving, underwater and out offshore and everything.
You probably made more money there.
Well, I found out biology didn't pay squat. So geology would have really put me in good shape. But I could tell some tales about some gals that I went to school with in college. There was some funny stuff. Anyway, we're talking about Clifford here. And I'm going to tell you what. This has been an interesting talk. We absolutely have appreciated you showing us some of this stuff that you got here. And I definitely want to revisit after we've discussed a few times. Maybe there's something else
Sure.
that you will recall.
Sure.
Or so how long have you lived in this area?
I've lived here about 27 years.
27 years. And of course that was back when you were still doing a little metal detecting here and there.
Oh yeah.
And
I'm still doing something.
Yeah. Well, one of these days we might just have to go find us a relatively easy spot to get to.
Yeah, that's the trouble. Getting old is kind of handicaps you a little bit.
Yeah. Well, that's okay. That's okay. Well, Clifford, I really appreciate you stopping by. I bet you we can entertain and tell some people some real tales here.
Well, we had a lot of fun doing what we were doing.
I'll tell you what.
Worked hard.
I'll tell you what. Just holding this, you know the history I've got in my hand?
These are old, really.
These old
really
miners
old.
that mined this stuff, and they poured them and got them into these shapes, all kinds of shapes here. And the old Chinese ones here. Comstock lode. Everybody knows the Comstock lode. And the real interesting things. Like you say, that little dude right there, worth more than all that silver put together.
Yep.
But they're all interesting.
Yep, they sure are.
All right. Thank you, Clifford.
You betcha. You betcha.
Appreciate it.
You bet.
And I hope I can have some further discussions with you.
You sure can.
And this has been an absolute treasure to get to talk to you. I know us old guys are getting far and few between, and I would love to capture some of your memories on some of this mining and stuff.
You bet.
And let people out there just enjoy this for what it's worth.
Yep.
Some people will say, oh, it's boring. Other people won't be able to get enough of it.
Yep.
And until the next time, we're going to sign off. Bye, y'all.
Thank you.